All right, welcome to the first YouTube exclusive episode of We Gotta Believe. It's brought to you by Coors Light, as always, our presenting sponsor. Clem, look how blue this mountain is. You know what that is? That's Purple Mountain's majesty right there. I never knew what that line meant when we would sing America the Beautiful, and now I know that's not even Blue Mountains. That's Purple Mountain's majesty. It is the coldest beer I've ever had in my entire life. Let me tell you something funny. And kind of disgusting. We're in the trust tree, right?
Nothing but love here.
Last night, after the Coors Light opening day gala, at the end, we all got baptized by Father Clem and the ice cold beer from the Rockies. I got a dude wipe out, the dude shower, and I wiped everything off, and then got dressed, went home, wanted to take a shower, ended up fighting the kids for bedtime the whole night. I ended up passing out. This morning, I get in the shower, and the water starts to splash, and the steam starts to rise, and all of a sudden, I'm like, I smell beer. I was like, did I have a beer in the shower recently? Oh, that's right. I'm still covered in Coors Light from head to toe because I got baptized by Father Clem. It was a weird feeling that I haven't had in a long time. Usually used to smell like Coors Light in my shower. I'd have a beer shower beer here and there. It was no big deal. This was like either someone's been in here or something's going on. And it was washing off that ice cold Coors Light from the opening day gala, which was one of the most fun live streams I've ever been a part of. It was amazing.
It was an absolute blast. And Darren coming in, and I'm just talking Mets. So it just organically went to memories, good, bad, ugly, all Metsy, whatever you want to call it.
I came in my office, in my place of work, jumped off of a bridge. And shout out to Darren, who we were all lining up for communion. And I said to him, I was like, dude, you don't have to do this. I don't know if you got plans. You're going to go somewhere. You don't have to be soaked like we are. And he was like, are you kidding me? I said, what are you, nuts? Let's go. I was like, my man. So it's Coors Light, literally head to toe right now. And for the rest of the season here. So make sure you get yours. It's the beer that's made to chill. And,
cold.
There it is.
It says it right there. Cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged. The beer that's literally made to chill. You get it on Drizzly or Instacart. Go to CoorsLight.com/believe. Support the show. Support the boys. Support the Mets. Support Coors Light for supporting us. And you got to celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. And we are chill right now, Kevin.
Because we are chilling, baby. Before we even get into opening day, because we're going to break down what went on last night and our first win. Just want to reiterate, because I said this last night on the Mets community. Right now, We Gotta Believe is in control of the New York Mets Twitter community, and so there's a lot. If you're not a member of that, you can go to Gotta Believe Pod Twitter, and you can see the link, and you can join this community, which basically means you have your a separate timeline on Twitter, which is all Mets, and it's just us and fans interacting. It's like all the Mets news and opinions you could ever want. And I said, because watching last night when we pulled Megill in the fifth, and then May came in and gave up that bomb and struggled. And yeah, you obviously don't want that. And yeah, Megill his pitch count wasn't crazy, but game one, day one, the community's popping off. How can you take out Megill? What are we doing here? This is bullshit. This is amateur. What is Buck doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I said, can we please, as a fan base, make an effort to just do one thing? I'm just asking one thing here, and that's not complain about that. In baseball, you pull a guy and the next guy gives up a home run, you get mad. But how many times do you pull a guy and the next inning is clean and you don't go, running to give Buck Showalter any credit? It's one of the stupidest things that we do that brings so much misery to the fan base is getting bent out of shape about pulling pitchers too early, unless of course it really is a bad move in a bad situation. But my point was, the larger point was, what we're doing here with We Gotta Believe. We did it yesterday with the opening day gala. We had Darren on. We're talking 7-line. We're talking Gotta Believe. We're talking young memories, old memories. I just want this whole podcast to be like Mets life. I want other Mets podcasters to come on here, other Mets fans. I want you to be able to argue against me and disagree with us and have a Mets community. I want the YouTube to grow. I want the Twitter community to grow. I want everyone to download, rate, review, subscribe. We have a chance here to do something very cool with a team that is poised to be a major player and major contender for the next, however long Steve Cohen is alive. And I just want to make sure that we take the opportunity as fans and Barstool readers and viewers and everything to do it, because I think we could do it right. Everything at Barstool has been like, are you a fan of this podcast or that podcast, or who's your favorite personality, or are you on Team Portnoy or the team, all that. This is just about the Mets here. This is something I want. This could be our lasting legacy that Clem and I can leave on the internet, is that we built the premier Mets podcast, Mets community, Mets everything. With an opening day win, we kicked it off. We did a little 1 minute Mets where I did a minute long reaction. We got this opening day video. So we're going to try to just do as much content as we can. But I want the fans out there, if you are a fan of the show, you are a fan of the Mets, if you're a member of Mets Fans Anonymous, if you are a member of the 127, I think it was, if you are a member of the 127, just make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you rate, review on iTunes and Spotify. Leave your comments. Spread the gospel, preach Cohentology, and let's build something like the team is trying to build. Cohen's trying to turn the franchise around. We're trying to build something here on the internet. And I think we got off to a great start last night with one of the rarest things in Mets life, Clem, just like a baseball game. It was just a baseball game where we hit the ball and we scored runs and we got outs. And really, other than that bomb from Trevor May and the moment that they technically got the tying run to the plate, it wasn't stressful. It wasn't, of course, we always get stressed. But in reality, there really was no stress. There was no drama. There was a quick scare with Pete. But other than that, it was just basically a wire-to-wire win. And, it's opening day, so we should always expect that because we're the best opening day franchise in all of sports. But after last year's roller coaster, it was nice to just be like, we put up 5 runs. Our pitcher pitched well. Our bullpen did well. And we called it a night. Holy fucking shit. That can actually happen.
We scored some runs when there were guys in scoring position. That was really nice to see. And it wasn't the smoothest thing ever. Robinson Cano starts the rally with a bunt against the shift. And then he gets driven in, quote unquote, by James McCann, doing his little Michael Conforto, throwing a body part in front of it.
Roger Dorn. Yo, let me tell you something. It's one game. And obviously we need to go so far before this becomes a reality. But as much as I've hated Robinson Cano, there's a chance if he plays well that I love him for just being a dirtbag, scumball, cheating, now reformed veteran, wily little veteran who's going to be doing things like laying down bunts against the shift. He's not going to be, the Yankee Mariner Cano who was blasting the ball all over the place on juice. But if he could be a little comeback player of the year with some crafty vet play, I might end up being a huge Robbie Cano fan just because he's going to be he's like a villain. He's like an anti-hero because everyone hates him. He's a cheater. He's an albatross. His contract sucked. But if he can provide, I might end up liking him because it's that would make him like a New Yorker. I know this guy who's kind of a shady fuck and he does some things that aren't really honorable, but hey, he gets you that television you need, That would be Robbie.
Well, we called him the Wash King, right? But if you kind of took that to another level where he's almost like the anti-hero and he's like a Ric Flair where he pokes you in the eye.
Yes.
He's gonna, even the ref's not looking,
exactly
he's gonna he's going to get the chair out and just hit people, bunt against the shift, do the legal cheating stuff that is not going to get you. It's like the scumbag shit. If
bullshit, do whatever you fucking want, Robbie.
Yeah, I could definitely see us falling in love with him. I hope he does it. And it's like who gives it? That's the thing about Cano. Everyone else in the league, especially the younger guys, they have images and they have this. Robinson Cano, he's tarnished as it's going to get. Just fucking embrace it and, hit a moonshot or two whenever you can, but do all the other fucking scumbag shit that not the stuff that's going to drive us crazy, like lollygag in the first, and we're going to have meltdowns on Twitter, but all the other stuff, I kind of like that. I'm starting to like Robinson Cano.
We got, next week he could strike out 1,000 times and start to lollygag it and just be a $25 million, anchor sitting out there and we'll hate him. but I just saw a glimpse of something that I was like, wait a minute, there could be there's a storyline here. There's an angle to this here. All started by Robbie Cano though, and a couple of hits with runners in scoring position, drive some runs in. It wasn't like, the big power show in the past years. We've been feast or famine with the home run. It was just like, kind of regular baseball. Lindor gets on the board. Everybody got a hit last night. Everybody got a hit. You had multiple hits you had 2 hits from Pete, from I think Cano, Canha, and somebody else. So with 4 guys that multiple.
McNeil was looking like the old McNeil there too.
Hits was out, and then everybody hit, and the only guy who didn't get a hit was McCann, who was still on base twice by pulling a Roger Dorn. So like a full fucking team effort, and I give out the Kevin Plawecki Memorial Game Day dildo goes to Tylor Megill, who I have decided, since he's baby DeGrom, I'm going to spell his last name DeGrom style, lowercase m, capital G. I mean, he got to give him the game ball. Like, to be honest, you would not have gotten anything different from DeGrom because of, just opening day. You're not going to push him. He still was injured last year. You probably would have got 5 innings, no runs. Jake would have had about like 12 strikeouts instead of 6, but really completely filled that void. So let's start crossing it off the list of like, here is one Jacob DeGrom start that we missed, that we replaced, like no questions asked. So 1 down, probably 20 something to go, but hey, 1 is better than 0. So game ball goes to Tyler.
Our big trade deadline acquisition is just waiting there. So we just have to hold the ship and keep the ship above water until then. And I mean, again, there's plenty of reasons why social media and Twitter is the worst thing in the world, but just seeing the nickname Tylor out there, we learned that
the big drip,
baby DeGrom. I like the McGill. We kind of just changed the way it's written. Mm-hmm. All those things tricks my dumb baseball fan brain into thinking, all right, this guy is the next Jacob DeGrom, just because they both debuted at exactly the same amount of days of their lives. That's all I need. That's how this stupid fucking game works.
That's like Marvel brain is what you have there. Yeah. Like there'd be some sort of storyline about 2 guys who born, whatever years apart, debuted on the same exact day, filled in, and who knows, the next, like whatever comes next is history. But like I said, it's just like, at least it's just 1, and we won on opening day. And because you know how important that is. Like game 2 is just game 2. Game 1 might as well be game 7 of the World Series to this fan base, Yep. And so getting off on the right foot. Thank God Lindor drove that run in. I 0 for 3 coming up into that at bat, and I was like, oh man, the Boo Birds are going to start already. My mom was already texting me, I'm not feeling good about Lindor. It's like, Mom, it's been 3 at bats. She texted me after the final out. She goes, thank God. As if like the bases were loaded and the ball went to the warning track. What do you mean, thank God? We won 5-1 in like a massacre. We beat the shit out of them last night. Mom, calm down.
Okay, so 2 things. 1, I had gotten a few people like, all right, are we going to start getting worried about Lindor now? Because we have now taken on the face of the Francisco Lindor apologists. And I was like, I needed that hit more than I think he did. Because I was like, his name would have been trending by the end of the night if he went, because he had 3 strikeouts too. So it's like that first strikeout was preposterous. That umpire was terrible.
That was ridiculous.
That was ugly. But okay, little confession time for you guys here. I said last night was kind of like a bullpen game. Last night was a recliner game. It was later than usual. I went into the
Big Daddy Clem went snoozing, didn't he?
I was zonked. In the words of Vindog, I zonked for a little bit. I keep the TV on. I woke up 2 parts. We were up, I think 4-1. I think when I started zonking in and out, I woke up for 2 parts. I saw Pete get hit in the face, and I said, "Oh no, it's one of these seasons." Right now. And I with a little bit of life in me that is still remaining after Jacob DeGrom kind of got sucked out. And I was like, motherfucker. And I'm just talking to myself, zonked out again, woke up, and I saw a man on base with Edwin Diaz on the mound. And I just was like, I just my life left my body. So I was like, you know what? I turned off the phone and I just put the sheets up, and then I woke up again and the game was over. So I was kind of in and out. It was opening day, but your boy Clem, I'm getting over
Dude,
something.
8:30 starts are just not reasonable for 37, 38, 39-year-old men. It's not possible.
With 2 kids. Yeah, we each have 2
Kids,
kids.
no way, man. I was like, I was lucky to have stayed up. Somebody tweeted at one point, like, is the big man asleep? And I checked your timeline, and there wasn't much activity.
Crickets.
I was like, I think the Sandman came here for sure.
But then like seeing Pete get hit in the face, and I guess it could have been so much worse, right? So I guess we'll just count our blessings on that. And then with everybody, like, this is the thing about the Mets now, maybe a new leaf. Again, we did 3 things yesterday during the gala. If you haven't seen it, you got to go watch it. Kev came himself, jumped off the bridge. We shattered the Luis Castillo bobblehead. And then we all entered we baptized ourselves into the Church of Cohentology. Jeez, almost said the wrong word there. And I had a guy, Bobby, who had his partner baptized him. And now we have people saying they want to do it at Barstool, the ballpark. So we're doing baptisms as far as the eye can see. We're going to be lining people up with the Coors Light.
This will be the year of the baptisms. Then send in your videos. You can Clem will post the script, if you will, the scripture, the creed. If you want to freestyle it and come up with some of your own some of your own words, you can do that. Pour a little Coors Light out. You know, we were ridiculous and we did like the full beer shower. If you just want to do a little Lion King Simba, just a little smear of the Coors Light, that's fine too. Everybody, what's it called? Take your vow to join the Church of Cohentology, because otherwise we've exorcised all the demons. We have no bad juju over here anymore. I can't speak for everybody else, the Frank the Tanks of the world, anybody else who has the bad juju. I, of course, have the overarching KFC mush, but as far as the bridge, as far as the Luis Castillo bobblehead, all of that, it's gone. We are officially Maloik free over here. So, and we started out right. Like, I was like, okay, some of that worked. If we just got our dicks kicked in, that would not have felt good.
So that's the thing that I want to hammer home to everyone else out there. We did this. We got the juju off of it. And you say, oh, did it work? Did it not work? Well, the Mets won. Oh, they always win on opening day. Pete Alonso took a fucking 97-mile-per-hour fastball. It like nicked the right part of the helmet or his shoulder or whatever and hit him in the face. If we don't do that, I don't know, like sliding doors, what happens? Maybe it hits him in the face. God, thank God it didn't happen.
Dude, all right, think about this with Pete. There's a car accident and a pitch to the face within a few weeks of this season, and he walks away unscathed, which A, means that he's unbreakable. Yep. This is his Marvel origin story when he begins to be a real superhero. And B, means that something, sports gods or whatever you believe in, something's working in our favor, because Pete should be either dead or have a broken face right now, and he doesn't. So, like, keep that in mind. Those are things that, for the New York Mets usually don't go our way.
Yep. And then what happens after Pete goes down? Instead of, everyone just sitting not on the top step but they're all sitting on the bench doing whatever, like we saw, last season. We get Starling Marte fresh out of Oakland, and he has his that jacket. He makes that jacket look so fucking cool. And he's saying 3 times, 3 hit bats, and he's all pissed. And then Garrett, Keith, and Ron are saying, the Mets were just getting like pounded with hit by pitches last year. That shit's going to stop now. And I think that's the one thing about Buck. Buck's old school like that. That stuff will not happen, whether it happens tonight, whether it happens another time.
Though. You got to remember a couple things. One, a lot of those hit by pitches were Brandon Nimmo, who just like stands on top of the plate and lets you bean him with the ball. And like last night, those were all like, I don't think there was any intent on all those. I think those were shitty pitchers. Yeah. At some point you reach a number where you're just like, what the fuck's going on? I think Starling Marte is standing up there being like, what the fuck, guys? Do your pitchers not know how to throw the ball? Like, what? Not like, you know what I mean? Not like, this is bullshit. You guys are coming at us. More like, you guys aren't, you don't know how to fucking pitch. But so I didn't really have any like ill will last night, but also Max Scherzer's on the mound tonight, and he's a crazy person. So I think he's an assassin, and he's open himself up to any base runners or potentially big innings. But I wouldn't be surprised if he throws a little high and tight at some point, and he's just because he's fucking Mad Max.
Yeah, and it could be like one of the guys he was like best friends with on the team, right? Like that wouldn't surprise me at all. What was in the first major league? There was a guy who I think was like loosely based on Goose Gossage, and it's like he hit his son at like the family. That's Max Scherzer kind of stuff. And again, like I don't think Marte was like looking to fight or anything, but I just like that the new guy was defending a teammate he's had for like 5 minutes, basically.
Right.
It was nice to see that for once.
Join right in. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So, and again, that was like the thing about Cano, his first year with the Mets. He just kept getting hit in the hands, and it's like sooner or later, like this shit just ain't gonna stop. It isn't gonna fly anymore. So, big win for the Mets. Everyone's happy. Opening day, Mets and the thing is, Mets Twitter gets like that first game. We all get to settle down. And also, shout out to the guy on Jeopardy. Did you see the guy on Jeopardy?
No.
There was a guy on Jeopardy last night. Dead last, obviously, third place. Didn't have a chance to actually win the game, but he put in as his answer for Final Jeopardy. He bet $7 and he was cooked. He was done. Yeah. And he said, "What is I'm going to lose, but the Mets will win it all this year." And
all right, shout out to that guy.
I
think he's a little bit smarter representing our fan base, but that's okay. That's all good.
He is, I think he works like in he does like reporting and stuff for the Mets. So he's like an employee of either Mets or some media brand. So just shout out to him for putting it up there last night. So also, okay, that's good juju. Because think about it, this guy, Jeopardy. Jeopardy records months in advance. The fact that happened to air on the Mets opening day, that had been pushed back a week. So it's not even like they could have even done this knowing when opening day was going to be, because nothing was in stone until like a couple of weeks ago. That's fucking great juju.
Even pushed back an extra hour so that Jeopardy could air before the game even started. It really was the suns and moons and stars aligning.
Yep.
Also watching Juan Soto last night. As long as Mike Trout is here, it's his league kind of, but God damn it. Juan Soto is so scary with his fucking samurai antics up there. The way he takes pitches and he's moving around like the fucking Matrix. Looks like he's doing the haka up there. And then he just smoked that ball. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I can't wait till Steve Cohen just buys Juan Soto. And of course, I want that. I also don't want to be like Yankee fans with like the can't wait till he's in pinstripes. I think there's more of a reasonable, like the Mets can and will do that. So it's not really like being just like douchebags. It's kind of being realistic. But let me just say this. If we don't get him and he does stay with the Nats or stays in the NL East, it just sucks to think about the fact that we're going to watch him hit like 600 to 700 more home runs, and probably with like 100 of them coming against us. He is a fucking problem, dude. And with Harper and Soto and like just some of the guys who have been in the NL East recently, it's like, God damn, there are
Acuna.
I mean, like, yeah, the NL East is stacked with individual players. The teams haven't all put it together yet, but the players have been, and it's like, fucking A, man. We've seen some of the biggest bats. Stanton when he was back on the Marlins. Like, there's a lot of players that I don't want to see in the NL East who are there. So shout out to Juan Soto, you motherfucker. Come play for Big Daddy Cohen one day. Get paid what you deserve, bud. You know Washington's not gonna pay you.
You don't want your owner all up in the I'm gonna do my but this is the thing, Kev. I already see it. I saw it on the timeline. I already have Yankee fans saying Soto's gonna look good in pinstripes. Take care of Aaron fucking Judge first before you start going after another guy. Because I'm telling you right now, Yankees fans, you are not winning a bidding war with Steve Cohen. He might have like tripled his own tax at that point. He will not let Juan Soto, if Juan Soto continues to do Juan Soto shit, go across town just on principle alone. So that
he
guy
will not
is
let
either coming
anybody,
to Queens or he's not coming to New York.
Anybody that the Yankees really covet that would be a big deal in New York City, he ain't letting that happen. So forget about Soto. Forget about anybody, because anybody coming up who's going to be like, would be a big splash, would be the headline grabber, would be the king of the city. Cohen ain't letting that happen. And congratulations to Aaron Judge for getting an offer that would be a higher annual value than A-Rod's contract in 2008. It better be a higher annual value than a guy who signed 15 years ago, you cheap fucks. I don't know what they're going to do, though. I don't know what they're going to do because they are in a weird spot. He's not young anymore. He is injury prone. He's got a lot left. Obviously, it's not like he's a bum and he's done. But is he going to be worth like a $300 million deal if someone does swoop in? Some of these numbers have been crazy. You don't know what you do with a guy like that because you don't want to see him elsewhere thriving. But the Yankees these days are penny pinching. So
I hate to say it, but that statement about being the highest paid guy, and it's referencing A-Rod, who you forget about even that he got that next contract with the Yankees. That is a Wilpons move right there, where you're throwing around the highest position player salary.
Yes.
Like 2008. What the fuck? That is a Jeff Wilpons move. However, you know what else was a Jeff Wilpons move? Never letting his stars go anywhere else. Like Zach Wheeler, he went somewhere. That's not like a star. David Wright, New York Mets for life. Jacob DeGrom, still fucking here. So it's like, that is the things that matters. And I'll tell you, Uncle Stevie, he's not letting anyone go that he considers like Portnoy always says, like, if I want you to stay at Barstool, you will stay at Barstool. I will make sure it happens. Uncle Stevie is the same exact way. It's just a shame to see across town, they don't value their stars the ways we do. So I feel bad for Aaron Judge. I do. Like, he got his teeth fixed. He, shaves his face, tries to be Mr. GQ for his New York Yankees, and they just don't love him. Why don't they love me back, man? Why don't they love me back?
They just don't love him like the fans do. They just don't love him like the rest of the league and the world does. They just love, they love their spreadsheets and they love their bottom line, and you hate to see it. So it's just, continuing the trend of the Yankees and the Steinbrenners penny pinching and plummeting while the Mets continue to rise. So 1 in the books. The Hat is 1-0 and undefeated. 95 more to go for the 96ers. And I'll tell you what, that was an opening day that really has me thinking. You got to believe.
Gotta believe.